Hi everybody, this is the Lorekeeper, and today I'm transmitting from St. Petersburg in Russia. Which I want to real quick clarify, this isn't an episode of Around the World in 80 Tours, but I just wanted to make a video and talk about something that's really fascinating to me that I've been studying for the last 3 years. The last 3 years, I think. But yeah, this video is about UVB 76, which is a mysterious number station, which number stations by nature are mysterious, but this one's extra mysterious because it's one of the only number stations still in operation, um, possibly the only. And to understand that, first things first, we need to understand what a number station is. So number stations, as it goes, they're exactly what they sound like. They are radio stations that are used to transmit coded messages. That the codes usually take the form of numbers or code phrases or stuff like that. That's why they're called number stations. But the tricky part about number stations is since they are encoded, since the messages are encoded, even if people hear them, they can't make out what they actually say because the codes are written so that only the specific person that the message is for can actually understand them. So no one's ever really successfully decoded what a number station message actually means. Famous examples throughout history of number stations from World War One, World War Two, and the Cold War especially, and even some in the modern day. Um, there's the Lincolnshire Poacher, there's Gongs and Chimes, there's Swedish Rhapsody, but those stations all ceased operations many years ago. Um, and the reason they have those kinds of names uh, is because of what they play as a signal marker. Like the Lincolnshire Poacher played an electronic version of the folk song Lincolnshire Poacher. Um, Gongs and Chimes, as its signal marker, played Gongs and Chimes. Really creepy sounding Gongs and Chimes, but Gongs and Chimes nonetheless. Uh, then there was Swedish Rhapsody, which that's where it gets weird because the signal marker, from what I read, isn't actually the song Swedish Rhapsody. It's something else that I don't really remember what it was. Um, but UVB 76, aka the buzzer, is different from that because instead of music, it just plays a buzz, a continuous, monotonous buzz. Which, real quick, before I go any further, I want to give a shout out to one of my favorite YouTubers, Ringway Manchester, which I will link his channel down in the description because everything I know about number stations I learned from him and the rabbit hole he sent me on. So be sure to check him out if you want to learn more than what I've been able to tell you here. I kind of have to make this a little quick because the last time I tried to do this, it was like 25 minutes long, and that gets to be a hassle to upload. Excuse me. But anyway, UVB 76, like I said, is different from other number stations. Not only because of the sound it makes, but also because it's still active and you can still hear it to this very day. Now, that brings us to where I am right now, in St. Petersburg. And the reason I'm here is because some people who have been paying close attention to UVB 76 over the years have seemed to have figured out that it's transmitting possibly from in St. Petersburg or near St. Petersburg. I'm just going to walk around for a little bit. Um, but yeah, no one knows for sure where it's transmitting from. People have their suspicions, but there's no way of knowing for sure right now. Uh, So real quick, some of the background about UVB 76. It's a station on 4625 kilohertz, which that's the frequency that it transmits at. Um, it appeared at the height of the Cold War, way back in the 70s, so it's been quite a while since it started transmitting. It did cease operation for like a day in the I can't remember. I think in the 2000s, I want to say. But it ceased transmission for just a day before getting back online and transmitting pretty much nonstop ever since. Nonstop, with the exception of a few pirates that hijack the frequency sometimes. Um, there's been an uptake in pirate activity in the last couple years, but also there's been uptake in the actual use of the station, because back when the station first appeared and the buzzer made its appearance as the channel marker, there was only ever a voice transmission like once every few years. But ever since the escalation of the Russian and Ukrainian war, the station has been used a little bit more frequently. And like I said, you can still hear the station today. You can tune into 4625 kilohertz on your own shortwave, or if you're like me and you don't have a shortwave, you don't know how to use a shortwave, that's what live streamers are for, which I'm going to pull up one right now so that you can see what I'm talking about here. That's the other reason that I'm re-recording this video, because last time the audio for UVB was too loud, and I watched the playback and I couldn't even hear myself talk because of how loud it was. So I'm going to play it for you right now. And as you see, there's a couple different streamers that play the station repeatedly. We've got the Buzzer 76 right here and Shortwave Radio Receiver, which I will also link both of their channels in the description so that you guys can check them out if you want to as well, because they do really well at keeping track of the messages that show up. And there's live chats so that you can talk to other people who are fascinated by this as well. I'm going to play for you first a Shortwave Radio Receiver stream here so you can see what's up. So I turned the volume down a little bit from YouTube directly, so hopefully you guys can actually hear me this time. Just in case, I am talking a little bit louder than I was last time, so if it seems like I'm yelling at you guys, I apologize. But yeah, you can hear the buzz, and this is the same buzz that's been going on for ages. Sometimes it sounds a little different, sometimes a little higher, a little bit lower, or it gets jammed by pirates, which has been known to happen. Not frequently per se, but more than you would expect. I'm gonna shut up for a second and just let you guys listen. Pause that for just a second. So as you see, this channel does a really good job of keeping track of what's going on with the station, because if you look up here where my little laser thing is pointing, you can see that they kept track of the last message that was received on the station, which was today, actually. 11:48 UTC. I don't know what time that is in my time zone. Once upon a time, I knew the answer to that, but I don't right now. But they keep track of all the stats for the radio stuff. I apologize. I don't really know a whole lot of the technical terms for radio equipment because this is like the extent of my knowledge. This specific channel. So we'll go back to listening to it for just a little bit, and then I'll tell you more. As you see, this stream has been going for ages. These streams are pretty much constant. But my headset battery is dying, so I am gonna have to wrap this up. But yeah, that's pretty much the basics of UVB 76. Like I said, it seems to be transmitting from in or around St. Petersburg, but no one totally knows that for sure. It used to be transmitting from elsewhere, and the reason we know that is because some urban explorers broke into a abandoned military base, which, quick disclaimer, as cool as urban explorers really are to me, don't break into abandoned military bases or anywhere for that matter, because it is very illegal in most countries, so don't do that. But when they did it, they found a log that was left behind that confirmed the existence of a Russian frequency, 4625 kilohertz. And, that's what we were just listening to. But no government has ever officially acknowledged ever using number stations to the public because it's kind of counterproductive to acknowledge the existence of top secret stations on an official capacity. But we know they're there. They know they're there. They just can't really talk about it. But what's also interesting about that urban exploration is that when they were at the base, they ran into a guard dog, that seemed to be well fed but tied to a post. So the question remains, who feeds the guard dog at an abandoned military base? So I don't really know the answer to that, or if anyone still lurks around that base, or if it's even still there. I don't know. But like I said, I do have to wrap this up, so make sure that you check out Ringway Manchester to learn even more about UVB 76 and the other number stations throughout history. Make sure to look into the Comet Project as well, because they're an archive of old radio transmissions, number stations, weird broadcasts, etc. So make sure you check that out. Check out those UVB 76 live streams that I'm going to be linking in the description so that you can tune in anytime and see what's going on with the station. But for now, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day. End transmission.